Okay, hello everyone. Can you hear me? I just shared the screen. Can you see the screen? Okay. Okay, we discussed in the yesterday session about the JDBC types of drivers and example program. So once we'll see about the drivers. So the driver manager will connect to the database with the help of the driver. There are many types of drivers, but based upon the functionality, they are categorized into how many types? Four types. The first driver is JDBC and ODBC Bridge Plus Driver. Okay, what is the first driver? JDBC ODBC Bridge Driver. Second one, native API driver. Okay, and the third one, network protocol driver. Network protocol driver. And the third one, you can say, sorry, fourth one, that is database protocol driver, or you can say it is a pure Java driver. These are the four types of drivers we have: JDBC, ODBC, and native API, and the network protocol driver. See the first driver, JDBC ODBC driver. So what it is going to do? How we are connecting through this? When we are using the first type of driver, we have to additionally install the ODBC driver on our system. So this driver manager will first convert the JDBC calls into the ODBC, and if with the help of the ODBC driver, it will convert into the native calls, and it will take the help of the vendor and it will connect to the database specific. So why? Because what this driver will do, driver will be dependent upon the database. Okay, it is Oracle database, it will convert into Oracle understandable queries. Okay, and then if it is MySQL or Sysbase or Sysbase, like that it will convert. So what will happen? When we write JDBC Java application with JDBC ODBC Bridge Driver, the driver manager with the help of ODBC driver, it will convert into native ODBC calls. Whenever you see the word native, that means it is not, it is using the previous version code, and it will take the help of the native database calls, or with the help of vendor database. What will happen? It will convert into the database understandable code, and it will also do vice versa. Again, in return back, it will fetch the result also in the same way. With the help of the ODBC driver, it will convert into the calls, and again it will display the output. Okay, this is about the type 1 driver. Okay, with the type 1 driver, what are the advantages we have? Okay, what are the advantages we have with the type 1 driver? When we are talking about the advantages for the type 1, see, it is very easy to work with any type of driver, because we will install ODBC, so you can work with any database. Sorry, not the driver. If you are using type 1 driver, it is very easy to work with any database. Whatever database you are using, it is very easy to work with, and you have to just install the ODBC on your computer. And what are the disadvantages we have? See, the disadvantages of type 1 driver is it is not very fast, and if you are not installing ODBC, you cannot work with that. And since it is using ODBC driver, it is not purely Java, so it is not portable. It is not portable. It is not independently developed because it cannot work on all operating systems same. So these are the disadvantages we have with the type 1 driver. Otherwise, if you want, we can use type 1 driver very easily. But nowadays we are using only type 4 driver. Type 1 driver is just for understanding how the driver is applied and how it is used. For testing purpose only we use type 1 driver. But in reality and real time applications we use mainly what type of driver? Type 4 driver, which we saw yesterday, thin driver. Once again we'll see the example. Okay, this is about the type 1 driver. And what is the second type of driver? Native API driver. So what is this native API driver will do? The driver manager will convert the JDBC method calls. Whatever you are writing in the JDBC code, it will convert into the particular database call with the help of vendor database library. With the help of vendor database library, it will convert. Okay, so whatever the driver manager is there, it will take the help of native API and it will convert the JDBC method calls into the native calls. Native means what? Particular database. Okay, if it is Oracle related means the query syntax will be little different. And again, if it is MySQL. So it will convert with the help of vendor database library. So that advantage of this type 2 driver is what? It is fast when compared with the type 1 driver. That is the main advantage we have. And we need not install additionally ODBC driver or like that. We need not install any driver on the computer to work with. And these are advantages. Disadvantage is what? Every time the client should maintain the library. Some clients will not have the library. So that time you will have the issue. And one more issue is what? It is not thread safe. It is not thread safe. And it is dependent upon the platform. It is not purely Java, so it is dependent on the platform. So it is also not much efficient. Okay. And next, this is about the type 2 driver advantages and disadvantages. And next, what is a type 3 driver? Network protocol driver. So this third driver, what it will use? Mainly the difference between type 1, type 2 and the type 3 driver is it will use one middleware server. What it will use? Middleware server provided by the particular company. Like if Oracle is their OCI driver, like that it will provide a middleware application server. So with that server it will connect to the database. So what will be happening? We will write the Java application and with the driver manager will select the appropriate driver, that is type 3 driver. This network protocol driver, it will take the help of the middleware application server and convert these calls into the specific database specific calls. Okay, database specific calls. So like this it will be converting. But here the advantage is what? You can just use one application server and connect. Apart from that, it is completely in Java programming language. Only the problem with this, you have to use one application middleware server. That again, that middleware server will be type 1, type 2 or type 4 driver we have to use there. So that is only the disadvantage with the type 3. Otherwise it is efficient than type 1 and type 2 drivers. Okay, and since we are using this network protocol, it is slow when compared to the other drivers. And one more important point or disadvantage we can tell is it is very costly. If you have to work with type 3 driver in real time, it is costly when compared to other drivers. Okay, so these are the some of advantages and disadvantages of type 3. What it will do? It will connect into the database with network protocol driver. Since we are using network protocol, it is slow when compared to others. And it will be like with database independent call will be there, which will take help of middleware server and then connect to the database. Correct? Okay, this is the third type of driver. And final one, type 4 driver. This is database protocol driver, or we can say pure Java driver. So mostly we will use type 4 driver only. So type 4 driver, it will be having direct call to the database. Okay, so we will take the JDBC API. JDBC API will provide all the classes and interfaces for our database, and with that JDBC method calls, it will take the help of native protocol driver and then connect to database. We are not using any ODBC driver or vendor library or middleware server. We are not using anything. We are directly connecting to the database. Okay, for third or second step, we can use OCI as a middle, but here we the type 4 driver is what driver? Thin driver. Okay, we are type 4 driver is what? Thin driver. Okay, how it is located? When we install the database, we will get the driver automatically. Now, how it is, how we will know the port number? Yesterday I wrote the code. How we will know the port number? Okay, some of you asked me. I will show you how to know the port number. See here, this is the location of the port number. It will be in Oracle homepage, home, drive, and network and admin. We have to go to this location. So in the C drive, okay, see the location in the C drive, Likita. There is a folder home. In your system where it is, you can check with that. And Oracle database home, and in this we will have a network and then admin page. In this admin we will have the TNS name. Okay, this will provide the information about the driver. Okay, if you click this, it will open with the notepad. I have already opened. See, this is the file. In this file you will see the port number 1522. Actually, by default, it will be 1521 only. But depending upon the database you are using, sometimes it will be different, 1522. Actually, initially, I worked with 1521 only. I'm getting error. So, I just saw the port number. It is, while installing, it is 1522. Okay, so just when if you are typing 1522 and if you're getting error, check the file once. Okay, what will be the point? And I also used some service name as XE in the program, so that is provided here. Sometimes you will see ORCL. In some programs you will see ORCL. It depends upon the service name given here, express edition or what edition it is there you installed. So that will be the service name and the port number location. Yesterday I tried to open, but some admin problem, I think it did not open, but I saw later. Okay, here you will find the port number and location. About the configuration of the file. Okay, I'll send the link. I'll copy and I'll send the file so that you can check in your system. Mainly it will be in the network admin location, in the admin TNS name. Okay, that will be your port details of your driver you are using. Got it? Understood? So these are the 4 types of drivers we have, and the details about the drivers. Now is it clear? Since it is beginning, yesterday I just gave one rough idea. Now I once again explain so that it will be understood by you. All of you, is it clear about that 4 types of drivers? So after this, we have some steps for establishing the connection and storing the result. So what are those? First one is what? Connect, and next statement, and then processing the query, and then we will write the result, processing query result, and then we will close the connection. Okay, these are the steps we follow in the database connection. So first we have to use the connect. In the connect, we have two steps to be followed. What is that? First, load the driver or register the driver and establish the connection. Establish the connection. So how to load the driver? Using what command? Class dot for name. What we use? Class dot for name. In the class dot for name, we will provide the driver name. Okay, what driver? If you are using type 1, sun.jdbc.jdbc-ODBC. If you are using type 4 driver, okay, we will use some JDBC driver of the Oracle. Okay, we will use this driver. And after registering the driver, what we will do? We have to establish the connection. So the connection is done with the connection class predefined in SQL. Okay, connection, any name you give, CON or CET, anything. But this is what? Connection class is equal to, who will connect to the database? Driver manager, correct? So driver manager dot get connection. This is the predefined method, and in this we are going to provide the, what you are providing? URL, username and password. Okay, so URL, username we know, username and password we know, like system, and whatever you give in the database, that will be the password. System, and again this. So this, what is the locator? I have shown you the port number, right? So that will be your URL. So how we are going to write the URL means, like you'll write JDBC, whatever you're providing, and here you will, if you are doing with the thin driver, now we will provide the thin driver and colon at the rate, what is the local host address? Local host 1522 or 11, whatever it is. If you are using Oracle 10G, it will be different. Scott Tiger, like that. It depends upon the database. And what is the service name? XE. There you have seen, right? If you are installing, check that. If it is ORCL or some other thing, give there that one. Okay, since I am using this, I am giving, this is the URL, username and password. So this is for establishing the connection, registering the driver and establishing the connection to the database. This is the first step we are doing. Clear? Okay, see, this is the JDBC colon. Sub protocol is what? Oracle. And the, you will provide the driver, thin driver or what type of driver you are using. And then the subname. Here you will provide the protocol 1522 and the service name you will provide here. This is how we are providing the URL. Okay, just one sample. And we are registering the driver. How we are registering? Using class dot for name. If it is type 1 driver, you will use Oracle type sun.jdbc-ODBC driver. If it is type 4, you will use oracle.jdbc.driver.oracle driver. And URL is like this, it will be there. If it is 10G, it will be Scott and Tiger. If it is like other thing, you will give system and password during execution. Clear? This is how we are establishing the connection to the database. And next step is what? Creating the statement. Now the statement also can be created in how many ways? 3 ways. So first one is creating simple statement, create statement. And you have one more, prepared statement for pre-compiled queries. Pre-compiled queries means you will provide with the question mark from the user. Insert or delete or something you are directly providing means insert into, you will provide the values. But you want to read from the keyboard or run configurations, you will provide question mark, and from that you can execute any number of times, right? You can give always different types of values. Such queries are called pre-compiled queries. For pre-compiled queries we will use prepared statement, and last one we have is callable statement. For the callable statement we will use for the procedures and functions. Okay, these are the three ways we use. So already we have established the connection. How we will write now? Statement st is equal to, we have already created connection, right? Con is equal to driver manager dot con dot create statement. This is how we write. And after creating statement, what we have to execute the query. So for execution of query we have three things again. One is what? Execute, execute query, and execute update. What we have? Execute update. Generally execute update we will use for insertion, creation, deletion, all this we use execute update. Query is generally for select statements, like this we will use. But if you're not sure and confused, then you can use just execute. It is for both. You can use execute for both. Okay, this is for some insertion or deletion, like this we will use. Okay, this is how we create the statement and execute. Insertion, deletion and all, it is fine. You can say int count is equal to, and you will write st, the statement object what I created here, st dot execute update or query, whatever it is we write execute update. And I can write some create table name, I'll write so and so, and I'll close. We will not get any output in return. Just table is created, we are inserting, deleting. Am I getting any output back? No. But when you are using select statement, we'll get output back. Is it correct? Select name or select star from table name is I'm getting some output. So how to handle that? Here we have one more class called result set. What is that? Result set we have to use. Result set rs, any name you give, but this is fixed. Result set rs is equal to st dot execute query. For select statement what we will use? Query. And here you can provide the select statement, select star from emp something will provide. Correct. Now what rs is holding? Stable rows, 5 rows or 10 rows or 15 rows you will get. In collection framework also we fetched some data like that. But how we are displaying that? Through what method? While or any loop we will use. In the loop we will write while rs dot next. What is the method we have to use here? Next method. Next, what it will check? It is a boolean method. What is next method return type? Boolean. So if there is next row, it will return true. If there is no row, it will return false. So loop will return until it is false. When it is false, it will come out. Suppose in the EMP table there are ID, name and mobile number. Only 3 columns are there. So how we will fetch the data? System dot out dot, you can directly print or you can take again one more values. System dot out dot println rs dot, suppose first column is integer numbers, correct? ID, name and mobile number. ID I have given, suppose think it is a number type. So rs dot get int, what we will write? Get int. And again rs dot, okay, we will print this. Again we will write system dot out dot println, then rs dot, if it is characters, group of characters, we will write rs dot get string. Here we will provide the column number, first column, second column, and third column. Rs dot get int. If the mobile number is also number, then it will give like this. Okay. Insertion, deletion, there is nothing we will write, but if you are using select statement, we have to use the result set for fetching the data. Result set object we have to create, and through the execute query we will fetch and we will display. This data type should match exactly the table data. First you are writing name and you are saying get int data mismatch. Okay, number mismatch, it you will get. Data type is mismatched exception you will get. So this is how the statements are processed. And finally, in close connection, what and all we have opened? Result set, rs dot close. So in color, in exception handling, we have seen a block called finally. What I said, in database we have to close the connections that are open, so that these connections we can put in a finally block, even exception occurred or not. Suppose I am telling select star from emp, the table only is not there, can I get the data? No, then that is exception, right? There is no syntax error, but table does not exist. So at that time the program may suddenly stop executing, but still finally block will be executed. Rs dot close, st dot close, and connection dot close. We can do this, correct? These are the steps of the connection. Okay, connect, statement, execution, processing the query, and then finally close the connection. Understood, all of you? So these are the steps you have to follow in the JDBC. Okay, now let us see one example. So how to create this project or any example? You can just right click, new class, and you can provide the program name, class name. Suppose we are creating a table, then you can say create bank example, and I will give the, I am taking the main method and finish. So you are getting the main method. So what we have to import here? Import java.sql.start. So now I'm not getting any error because I have already configured the jar file here, ODBC14.jar. How you have to configure means, when you're creating project, right click on the project, say source, then configure build path, and in the configure build path go to the class path, and in the libraries class path add external jars, and here you have to select the jar file where it is located, ojdbc.jar 14 or 8 or whatever it is, and then click on open, it will come here. Okay, if this jar file is not there, you will not be able to connect to the database. Okay, that jar file is compulsory, download it, configure it. Okay, I'll put that screenshot, you can just check. So now after that, what is the first step here? To register the driver, load the driver. What is the step? Class dot for name. Okay, so here you have to provide the driver name, whatever the driver you are creating here, you have to provide the driver name. Oracle JDBC driver we are creating, this is the type 4 driver we are providing here. Okay, so it is giving us error. Why? Because we have to either put in the try catch block or we have to throw the exception throws class. And after this, what we have to do, we have to establish the connection. Connection con is equal to driver manager dot get connection. So here you have to provide the URL. So what is the URL here? JDBC colon Oracle colon JDBC colon Oracle driver. Okay, it is a thin driver and the local host address is what? At the rate localhost. We have to provide at the rate localhost. What is the port number? 1522 colon xe. This is the URL and what is the username? System and password. Okay, this is how we have to establish the connection. Okay, got it. So we have registered the driver and established. Next, what we have to do? Statement. St is equal to con. Whatever object name we have created it, that con dot create statement. And suppose you are creating table int some ct for the count is equal to what we have to do, st dot execute update, and I'm writing create table. Okay, I'll give the table name. Suppose we are giving the table name as student example and id space number of 6 and name space care of 6, and then we can create some mobile number of data type number and you can provide some size. Okay, we created the table. Can you see now? Is it visible? So we created the table student id name mobile number and we have just closed it. Okay, if it is properly connected and executed, then we will get this count. So like just I will just display system.out.println. Okay, we will just display the count, and if you want you can put a message here, table created. Okay, if there is some error we will see, any syntax mistakes or anything it will show. Okay, what is that? So it is telling the driver is not found, maybe some mistake in the driver name or anything here. Nothing driver at the rate localhost. 1 second. class dot for name, driver name, and the URL, username and password. Actually, 1 second. So it is telling table created. So now let us okay, we executed. Now let us check in the database. Table created, ID, name and mobile number. So when we executed our Java program, it is creating in the database. So when a small mistake with capital small also, the driver, it gave error, the driver not found. So we are creating the registering, establishing connection and executing and creating the table. Okay, understood everyone how we connected and huh? ఎక్కడ జస్ట్ ఒకవేళ అది ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అయితే కౌంట్లోకి 0 or 1 అట్లా వాల్యూ వస్తుంది జస్ట్ తెలియ అంటే మనకి రిటర్న్ ఏం అవుట్పుట్ రాదు కదా సో జస్ట్ టు డిస్ప్లే కౌంట్లోకి ఒక వాల్యూ వస్తుంది కదా ప్రాపర్గా ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అయితే వాల్యూ వస్తుంది లేదంటే వాల్యూ ఏం రాదు కదా సో అందుకని జస్ట్ ఒక ఇంటర్న్ తీసుకున్నాను సిటీ ఏదో ఒక వేరియబుల్ తీసుకోపోయినా ఏం పర్వాలేదు యూజర్ టేబుల్ క్రియేటెడ్ అని వస్తుంది జస్ట్ ఒక కౌంట్ అని ఎందుకంటే రిటర్న్ సెలెక్ట్ అయితే ఏదైనా వాల్యూ వస్తుంది సో సిటీలోకి ఒకవేళ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అయితే 0 1 ఏదో ఒకటి వస్తుంది కదా జస్ట్ ఆన్సర్ తెలియటానికి అంతే ఎర్రర్ వస్తే ఇట్ విల్ గో బ్యాక్ okay like this we executed suppose now you want to insert data into this table okay how you will insert same thing we will write again create connection everything you will write but instead I'll just do it here only st dot execute update and here we will write the query what we will write insert into what is the table name student x and we'll provide the values here 101 comma and you can provide the name okay and the mobile number and then we will close the double quotes and we will close this and semicolon okay we inserted so if I keep this what will happen again it has to be created so it will give error so I will just comment this okay if it is no problem it will insert and system.out.println okay we can just give just for our understanding success if success comes means what it inserted properly otherwise there is some error now I'll execute this okay some query still now I have done SQL I forgot giving values what you people are also not telling insert into table name values we have to provide right success it was telling now let us check the table here select star from what is the table name student x inserted id name and mobile number so what we executed here it got inserted into the table okay now like this we will create and keep so when you develop some application you will enter login id password right that login id password is inserted into the table whatever you are writing in the text box we will fetch the value for that fetching the value, we will use servlets and JSP. We know how to enter, you know HTML, you know now SQL, and you will learn this. But how to get the text box value? Through the servlets and JSP, we will fetch that HTML text box value and then compare with the JDBC. Okay, we'll do that next when you are learning servlet. So we have inserted the data into the table. Okay, so like this, any table you can create and you can insert. This is the common steps. Till now we have learned from 3 to 4 days this introduction, because it is very now programming only will be there mostly, like insertion, deletion and all we can do. And using prepared statement, callable statement, result set query, we will create some 5 to 6 or more than 5 tables like that. If we create, what will happen in servlet, when we develop some application, it will helpful for us. Okay, so everyone, is it clear? Online students, is it clear? If you have any doubts, please ask. Now we have inserted, created, and we have inserted data. Now how to retrieve the values? For retrieving values, what we have to use? Result set. Through the select statement, we have to use result set. So result set, all these are present in our SQL package. If this SQL package is not imported and all, we are getting error. See, so SQL package has to be imported. Result set, any name, rs is equal to st dot execute query. Correct? For select statement, we are using execute query, and we will say select star, or if you want only one value, provide name or id. I want to fetch all, so select star from, what is the table name? Student X. So this is the query, and we'll put semicolon. So when it fetches, we need a while loop. So while rs dot next. Okay, this will fetch and check true or false. In while rs dot next, what we are doing? We have to display the value. So system dot out dot println. Okay, so if you want to display properly, then id is or equal to, and then you can put a plus symbol, and rs dot get int. First one is what? Integer. So first column you will fetch, and then okay, what is the next one? Name equal to rs dot get in. Get, what we have to write here? 2, and the name is of what type? String type. So get string. Okay, and then next, what is the next one? Mobile number, rs dot get int of 3. So if I execute now, again same row is inserted, because there is no constraint. Same row will be inserted and values will be displayed now. Okay, I'll run this. So we are getting 2 times, because it again inserted, right? So success, and then it is inserting 2 times and 2 times values. If you see now in the database also, 2 rows are inserted. If we put constraint, then it will not insert second time, it will give you an exception. Understood everyone? How we are creating, and we are inserting, and we are selecting. Simple, we created. We can create with constraints, and however we want we can create. That's why for JDBC, at least little knowledge is required. SQL knowledge, how we have to, because these queries and all, if we directly learn, it is okay. Again, it will be little difficult to follow. Okay, so ఎనీ డౌట్స్ ఎవ్రీవన్? మీకు ఏమైనా డౌట్స్ ఉన్నాయండి? అర్థమవుతుందా డేటాబేస్? ఇప్పుడు క్లారిటీ వచ్చిందిగా. ఫస్ట్ 2 days కొంచెం కన్ఫ్యూజన్ ఉంటుంటుంది. సో again I explained about the drivers and example. Jar screenshot ఏమైనా? Okay, I'll take. Okay, first we will go file, new, we'll create one Java project. ఇది తెలుసు కదా మీకు, జార్ ఫైల్ కాన్ఫిగరేషన్ కావాలి. సో రైట్ క్లిక్ ఆన్ దిస్ build path and configure build path. సో ఈ డాక్యుమెంట్ ఎలాగో షేర్ చేస్తాను, సో ఇందులో పేస్ట్ చేస్తాను. క్లియర్గా ఉందా? Right click on the project and then you have to click on build path and configure build path. Okay, so screenshot and then next go to the libraries and then select the class path and click on add external jars. Okay, ఇది మీకు అర్థమవుతుంది. The libraries, class path and add external jars. And on add external jars, if you click, then you go wherever it is downloaded, select the OJDBC jar file. Suppose in downloads, and if it is there OJDBC, then you have to select the jar file. Okay, select the jar file wherever it is possible. That's it. When you click OK, it will be pasted. That is important. Then your whatever driver you are writing, it will work. So this is seal kit. Okay. It's okay. Advanced Java, till now I have not sent anything. సేమ్ ఏక ఇదే నిన్న కూడా ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేశాను ఊరికే. అది సేమ్ ప్రోగ్రామ్. నేను నిన్న ఊరికే చెప్పాను, 2 times చెప్తే కొంచెం మీకు అర్థమవుతుందని. Okay, in this all four types of drivers are there, like, and step by step everything, and you also have the s- process to connect. And I'll share the example also. Okay, in this only I wrote all three, right? So this I have shared. I created one more also. Okay, okay, okay. So then, okay, okay. Any doubts? We'll discuss in tomorrow's session. Okay. Thanks for joining. We'll see in tomorrow's session. Any doubts are there? You can let me know. Otherwise, I'll just sign off.